You can be the one to break the poverty cycle in your family. Now, I'm not talking about becoming a multimillionaire, although that would be great, but I'm just talking about not being constantly stressed about money. So I'll be sharing 5 tips to break the poverty cycle. Now let's go. The first tip is to focus on only what you can control. Now, you may feel like you were dealt a bad hand in life, and honestly, you might be right about that. But there's nothing that we can do to control who our parents are, what part of the world we're born in, or what environment we're raised in. You know, some of us had parents who really valued education and really pushed us to be the top of our class, while others of us had parents who did not care if we skipped school and turned a blind eye to bad grades. But what I want to tell you is that no matter what your circumstances are or what your past circumstances have been, you don't have to continue to let that dictate your current reality. Figure out what you can control in your life, because if you really think about it, there are lots of things that you can control, such as how you currently spend your time and money. For example, are you using your time wisely, or do you spend hours a day scrolling on social media? Do you know how to handle your money well, or are you constantly impulse shopping and trying to appear richer than you actually are? People who had mentors, parents, or friends who gave them knowledge, tips, and tricks in these areas definitely have a head start, but that doesn't mean that you can't catch up. Once you figure out what is in your control, then it's up to you to start making better decisions. One of those first good decisions that you should make is who you keep in close company. There is a quote that says, "Rich people take advice from people who are richer than they are. Poor people take advice from their friends who are just as broke as they are." I personally have seen this to be true. You know, if you think about celebrities, they only ever hang out with other celebrities. I never see Kim Kardashian or Justin Bieber hanging out with broke people for fun. You know, unless they're doing some type of charity work, typically they are hanging around people of their same level, their same status, and who have the same goals as they do. And that kind of makes me wonder, why aren't we all doing that? Now, I'm not saying you have to completely cut broke people out of your life, unless that's really what you want to do, but I am saying that who you keep in close company matters. Who you talk to matters, and who you take advice from matters. I personally have set a boundary so that I don't take advice from people who aren't living lives that I would also like to live. So I don't mean this to be rude or harsh, but I don't take advice from people who have multiple divorces, who are terrible with their money, and are completely broke. I don't want to have my life look like that. So input from people who have lives like that is not of high value to me. You may have also heard the saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I want you to think about those 5 people right now, and if it scares you to be the average of them, then you know you have some work to do in this area. The next tip is to figure out where you are financially and then set some goals. I recently shared a post on my Instagram page, and quick plug, if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me over there for some money tips and some behind the scenes look at my daily life. But anyway, this post on Instagram was about how 55% of people have admitted that they are scared to check their bank balance. And that is concerning to me, because if you don't know where you stand financially, then you really can't move forward. If you're afraid to check your bank balance or afraid to sum up all the debt that you owe, let me tell you this one thing right now. Not knowing is not doing you any favors. People who know how much debt they owe can then start to make a plan to get out of debt. People who know how much money is in their bank account month to month can then start to make a budget so they can figure out where they're spending unnecessarily and shift that money into an area of their life that is more productive. When it comes to finances, ignorance is not bliss. If you are one of those people who is scared to check your bank balance, scared to sum up your debt, set some time aside this week to figure out where you stand financially. And if you need help budgeting, I have a video on my channel where I talk about my monthly budgeting process, and I'll leave that video linked in the description box below. The second part of this is to set goals. I like to be specific when I set goals, because that way I can figure out a clear path of how I want to achieve that goal. So think about what goals you want to achieve. Do you want to buy your first home, get out of debt, buy a new car, whatever your goal is, write it down so that you can get a clear picture of what it will take to achieve that goal. The next tip is to increase your income, and this is where things can really start to change for you. And there are countless options for how to do this. I just did a quick search on YouTube's homepage, and look at how many videos came up, so the options here are endless. But one thing I will say is be careful who you are taking advice from, because some creators will tell you that, oh, you can make money doing affiliate marketing or blogging, which is true, but they don't tell you the full picture of all the work that you have to put in, all the time, the effort, the multiple iterations you may have to do to really get there to the point where you can start making a lot of money off of it. So just be careful and have a realistic view of what it will take to earn additional income. I think a good place to start when you're looking to increase your income is to think about skills you already have that you could potentially monetize to increase that income. So an example of this is Miss Excel, Kat Norton, who already knew how to work Microsoft Excel through her day job. And then she created a TikTok account showing her Excel tips, and she grew that account to over 900,000 followers and now makes over $2 million a year selling her courses. And this is just wild to me and shows me that you may already be sitting on your next great business idea. If you're still watching the video at this point, comment pineapple down below so I'll know you made it this far and I can personally thank you for watching. And also, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more personal finance content. And turn on your notifications so you will be the first one to know when a new video drops. The next tip is something that is often overlooked but is really important, because I can guarantee you that if you struggle with this right now, you will struggle with this in the future when you're making more money. And this I'm referring to is your money mindset. So your money mindset is something that is shaped and created and molded during your childhood and young adult years and follows you into adulthood. To assess where you are with your money mindset, ask yourself these questions. What money habits did you inherit from your parents? How were you raised to think about money? And what triggers you to spend money? The common money mindset issues people deal with are the poverty mentality, where you believe you'll never have enough money to afford the things you want, the scarcity mentality, where you believe there's not enough money to go around for everyone, and then instant gratification, where you see something and you want to buy it right away. Identify if you struggle with any of these mindset issues and address it. If you don't, this will just follow you as you continue to increase your income. It does not matter what anyone tells you. The Bible says that God has good plans for you and your future. So you can be the one to break the poverty cycle in your family. Trust God through this process to do so. And once you're out of poverty, that's when you can start building generational wealth through investing. So click the video on the screen right now for a step-by-step tutorial on how to invest in index funds.